Our routine is on slide 7, and there is a link to Fawn's website for visual patterns. Definitely check that out. And this is an established routine that I am going to try to bring into this online setting and model it this way. So, for this routine, you're going to need to find your chat box. So sometimes that means minimizing your or your browser window. Zoom is behind it. You've got a chat box somewhere. Go ahead and find that chat box. And we're going to do a chat waterfall, which means you're going to type in your chat box, but don't hit enter yet. We're all going to hit enter at the exact same time. So we've got a pattern on slide 8, and I'm showing it on Zoom. Oh, no, I'm not. Let me get it on. There we go. I'm showing it on Zoom. We have a pattern on slide 8. And in your chat box, you're going to use words to describe the pattern. It's trickier than we think. Use words to describe it. You're going to put that in the chat box, but don't hit enter yet. We're going to give enough wait time for everybody. So use words to describe the pattern. If you think you've described one pattern, think of another way of describing it. And let's let the waterfall begin. Go ahead and hit enter. We're going to see some responses in the chat. But much like a waterfall, it doesn't all dump out at once and stop. It continues, so feel free to keep putting new ideas each time. And we can take a minute to read through these. And Roanna, I'd love to start with you. Your comment was increases by 12, and I'm going to put that comment here on slide 9, where I'm going to bring up a couple of them. Can you tell us, how do you see this increases by 12?
Hi, Teresa. So I can see that there is two dices that are increasing, and the value of the dice is 6 each. So that's why it is increasing by 12. Vertically and horizontally, 6, 6. So that's why 12.
Oh, so let's see if I can bring that on here. We'll take that image again. And the new dice you said are 6 and 6. I love the way that you brought the numbers into this. And am I drawing the arrows at the dice that you said are the new ones?
Yes.
Great. Let's see, there's so many great ideas in here. Julie, you bring up this this idea that growth pattern, each dimension grows by 1. With each additional stage. I'd love to hear more about how you see that, and I'll try and model it as you're chatting.
I was kind of looking at the same thing that you showed with the arrows in the last one, where each time you're seeing the height increase by 1, and then also the length increasing by 1 dice. So the first one, and I called the first one a 3 by 1 because I looked at the orientation of the dots, and since that red dot had them going the same direction as the ones above it, I considered it part of the height.
So when you say 3 by 1, is it like the red and the pink showing a 3 and a 1?
Yes. Yes. And so the next one would be like a 4x2.
Gotcha. And am I showing it like you're describing it?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. So you're probably thinking the next one here, and
Would be
yep, go ahead.
a 5x3. Yes.
Beautiful. All right, so we have it increases by 12. We have this way of using numbers to organize our thinking and call it a 3x1, a 4x2, a 5x3. Let's see what other ideas are in the chat and keep them coming too. And Davenia, am I saying your name correctly? Can you confirm or correct me? I'd love to hear more about your top side is longer. Top side is longer than the bottom side. What do you mean by that?
So the one side of the L is increases by 1, but it has like 3 on one side and then the other side has just the 2. So it always increases by 1, so basically increases by 6 each time. Ooh. So one side's just longer than the other.
And which side did you said the top side was longer, right?
I should have said the left side is longer than the bottom side.
And I think that's really similar to what our previous speaker was talking about. And I'm curious, why did you choose to group the red one on the left side?
I don't know. I actually just saw it as one long side. I didn't see the bottom as a long side. I just saw that as like kind of like a tree, like it just connected to it. But the one side was just, I don't know, from the red up. That's how I saw it. I didn't see it from the red to the side.
Yeah. And so, mathematically, when we start to look at these ones where we've decided that the red is in the vertical piece, it can make things easier or harder when thinking about the mathematical representation. Stacy, you bring up this idea of C and C plus 1. But one thing I'd love to bring up here is, did anyone see the red die as part of the bottom? If so, feel free to turn on your mic and tell us, your ideas here. Did anyone see it like that?
I just noticed it when Davenia talked about the red die, and I said if you rotate that red die so the dots are going horizontal, then you might see a column and a row that are the same length.
And why might that be useful?
I'm just thinking, like, if you were trying to come up with some type of an algebraic expression with it, you'd have 2 of the same thing. So maybe like if our figure number at the beginning is 1, we could say 2 groups of 2 times 1, and then 2 groups of 2 times 2, etc.
So now we're starting to think of decomposing the shape, moving things around so that we can write different algebraic expressions. Very cool. Samaya, am I saying your name correctly? Can you tell me about this triangle that you're noticing?
Yeah, hi. My name, you could, if possible, say it as Saumya.
Saumya, thank you.
The pig and the cat, yeah. So the triangle I thought of after you mentioned the point about the dots on the red dice. What if they were horizontal? So then it seems like it would be a right triangle with 3 dice as the height and 3 dice as the base. And that would make it isosceles. But I didn't see it as isosceles at all until you mentioned the dice changing the orientation.
That is so cool. So if we change the orientation, which I've kind of done in that new image, Now
Right.
you're looking at just counting the dots on the bottom and the dots on the side.
Right.
Oh, that one was cool. I haven't thought about that at all. All right, folks. This routine is all about having students look at these patterns and trying to verbalize what they see. Because so often when we ask kids to find the next one, which is usually where we go in this like pre-algebra concepts here, we'll say find the next one or find the 10th one. But that step before that they really need to work on is describing how they see it. Because one person will say it increases by 6 when someone else says it increases by 2. And how can it be both? Well, we just showed that here.